Breaking tonight, the results are coming in from 5 crucial primaries in the presidential race, and one Republican candidate has decided to drop out.
Democrats and Republicans in the Kentucky House have responded to the governor's budget proposal with proposals of their own. Now, their budgets are different than the governor's.
The wife of a country music legend talked in Lexington tonight about her family's fight with Alzheimer's.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
And good evening. It's been a very important night in the race for the White House. Voters in 5 states, including Ohio and Florida, made their decisions today. And after a devastating loss tonight, Republican Marco Rubio says he's dropping out.
But Republicans Donald Trump and John Kasich, along with Democrat Hillary Clinton, picked up some major victories. Weijia Jiang has the breaking details.
CBS News projects Donald Trump won Florida and all of its 99 delegates, as well as Illinois and North Carolina.
We have something happening that actually makes the Republican Party probably the biggest political story anywhere in the world.
Governor John Kasich took the other big prize, all 66 delegates in his home state of Ohio.
I have to thank the people of the great state of Ohio. I love you, is all I can tell you. I love you.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio decided to end his bid for the presidency after losing his home state to Trump.
After tonight, it is clear that while we are on the right side this year, we will not be on the winning side.
CBS News projects Hillary Clinton has extended her delegate lead with wins in Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio.
We are moving closer to securing the Democratic Party nomination and winning this election in November.
Bernie Sanders put his efforts into winning in the Midwest.
We are doing something very radical in American politics. We're telling the truth.
Exit polls show Clinton is seen as the candidate more likely to beat Trump in the general election. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Miami.
Right now, the Democratic primary in Illinois and both primaries in Missouri are still too close to call. Well, don't get used to those warm temperatures in the 70s like we had today. A cold front is actually moving through overnight, and it's going to change everything.
So how much cooler, even colder, will it be tomorrow? Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has the first look at your forecast. What about it, Jim?
Oh, guys, we were talking about a major swing out there. We've been talking about March ups and downs past few days. Tonight, a frontal boundary will be dropping in. That is your up because it's bringing a chance of some showers, so those percentages go up tonight. We also have some chances for more rain in our forecast period through midweek. Very small, but they're still on the up and up. Here comes the big down. By the time we get to the weekend, this answers your question, Sam. This is how much cooler we'll get because we are talking about cold enough air to bring the chance of snowflakes into Kentucky. It all starts with this system that is sweeping through parts of Iowa tonight into, as well, Illinois, Wisconsin. That particular area of thunderstorms has produced severe weather tonight. It's all part of a much larger system, area of low pressure, trailing cold front, the whole normal setup that you get this time of year. And behind it, we will watch our temperatures drop anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees compared to what we had out there today. The cooler trend begins on your Wednesday. And I will be tracking those flakes, and I'll show you coming up at 11:13 when they fit into the equation, guys.
Now to a developing story we're tracking in northern Kentucky tonight. A crash on a bridge sent a car plunging into the Ohio River. It happened late this afternoon on the I-275 bridge between Campbell County and Cincinnati. Investigators think a tractor trailer may have hit the car, causing it to go off the bridge. Search crews say a sonar boat found the car in the water, and now they're working on a plan to raise it to the surface. But there's no word on how many people were inside that car. The bridge was closed for hours, but reopened just after 10 o'clock tonight. With this year's legislative session now in its final month, a battle could be setting up over the state budget. The governor has called for some deep cuts in state spending, including higher education. But this afternoon, House Democrats unveiled their version, which is much different than the governor's plan. And as Garrett Weimer tells us, even the House Republican version does not give the governor everything he wants.
The budget battle could just be ramping up as the legislative session begins to wind down.
When we started down this road, it was my hope if we could accomplish a few goals with the House budget, and those goals I believe this budget will meet.
The House Appropriations and Revenue Committee approved a plan that rejected the governor's proposed cuts to colleges and universities. A bill Republicans introduced earlier in the day kept those cuts but restored others.
Every member of the House Republican caucus in some way or another had some input on this budget, whether it's coal severance, whether it's primary and secondary education, whether it's post-secondary, on and on and on.
House Democrats' plan was approved, though it garnered only one Republican vote on the Democratic-controlled committee. Many Republican members declined to vote on it. House Speaker Greg Stumbo says the budget plan that the committee approved should pass the House fairly smoothly.
You know, it looks to me like it's a pretty good document, and I said all along I thought the governor made a good effort in his attempt to start this process, which he did. We kept the biggest part of that, and I think refined it and moved on.
At the Capitol, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And in a statement tonight, the governor's communication director says the proposed budget, quote, continues the bad habit of spending one-time funds for recurring expenses. The House is scheduled to vote on the budget tomorrow afternoon.
New tonight, the state Senate has passed a religious expression bill that opponents say discriminates against gays, lesbians, and transgender people. The bill would allow some businesses to refuse to participate in same-sex marriage celebrations due to religious objections. Those businesses would be protected from civil damages or legal fees. The Senate narrowed the bill so it would only apply to businesses such as bakeries, florists, and photographers. The bill passed the Republican-led Senate by a 22-16 vote. It now heads to the Democratic-controlled House. New tonight, police have arrested a Madison County woman they say forged dozens of prescriptions for her family. 30-year-old Ashley Young faces forgery, theft, and trafficking charges. Police say she used to be a certified medical assistant for a doctor's office in Berea. They say Young forged nearly 50 prescriptions that were written for her father and boyfriend. Some of the drugs on the forged prescriptions included oxycodone and methadone. Police say Young also forged the medical records for her father and boyfriend, so it would seem they were receiving the prescription drugs for legitimate reasons.
He's a Grammy Award-winning singer who had a string of hits from the 1960s through the 80s. Glenn Campbell's songs are well known among country and rock music fans. But in recent years, he's been dealing with the effects of Alzheimer's disease. And tonight, his wife, Kim, came to Lexington to help raise awareness of this disease and to share her journey with Glenn. Kristen Kennedy has the story new at 11.
Doctors diagnosed Glenn Campbell with Alzheimer's back in 2011. His wife, Kim, told the crowd here in Lexington that she noticed signs of dementia much earlier.
He shadowed me everywhere we went. He became very OCD about things. We would travel and he would do shows. I would notice the words, songs that he had sung, thousands of times, and he started asking the band, what key is this in?
Kim Campbell shared candid moments with the crowd at Ashland Avenue Baptist Church.
He was experiencing fear, and he was experiencing a struggle to be there for me.
Many listened and related to her role as caregiver to her husband, Glenn. Alzheimer's disease is irreversible, destroys memory and thinking, and affects millions of Americans.
My father had Alzheimer's, and my mother is presently suffering from Alzheimer's.
Barry Hart calls the disease heartbreaking.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, we talked about dementia, but now it's Alzheimer, and it's everywhere, and it doesn't matter your socioeconomic class, your education, it doesn't make any difference. And that's what's the heartbreaker.
Campbell used humor and hope to deliver a message of love.
If you're open and honest with people about what you're going through, you give them permission to reach out and help you and love you.
In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And the Morning Point Foundation sponsored tonight's event. Morning Point is an assisted living, senior living, and Alzheimer's memory care facility with locations across Kentucky.
Tonight, the UK basketball team arrived in Des Moines as the Cats prepare for their first game in the NCAA tournament. Only WKYT was at Wildcat Coal Lodge this afternoon as the team boarded a bus for Bluegrass Airport. Some UK fans were on hand to wish the Cats well. The team then flew on to Iowa and arrived about 6 tonight. UK plays Stony Brook Thursday night about 9:40, and you can see that game right here on WKYT. We'll also have live coverage from Des Moines beginning at noon tomorrow.
A Southern Kentucky deputy jailer has been charged with assault after a complaint from an inmate. What surveillance video from inside the jail shows in 9 minutes.
And then police have released new information about an officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. They say one of those injured was hit by a stray bullet.
Out-of-control overdose victims high on synthetic drugs.
They're paranoid, they're hallucinating, never seen anything like it.
What hospitals are doing to keep patients and staff safe from potential danger. Addicts in the ER. Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
I've covered thousands of games over decades. You think you can beat me? Come on.
Challenge Dave Baker and play the Hoops Hysteria Tournament Pick'em game for your chance to win a 65-inch LG 4K Smart TV. Sign up today on WKYT.com.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, best-in-class V8 horsepower, and best-in-class V8 towing?
Chevy.
I'm going with Ram.
Definitely Ford.
The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, horsepower, and towing.
They're all Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Get a total value of $7,500 on this Silverado All-Star with a 5.3-liter V8. Plus, find your tag and get $1,000 cash allowance on select Silverado models in stock. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
After you're injured at work, a lot of times the insurance company will attempt to call you, take statements. Don't speak to them until you speak with an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
The insurance company will attempt to settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Before you talk to the insurance company, call us first.
Our job is to make sure you get all the money you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast. 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Another nice day out there. We had temperatures jump into the mid and upper 70s, 80 degrees in some locations and beyond that. Record breaker out for parts of western Kentucky out in Bowling Green, mid 80s today. We're still in March, and we're going to try to get into more of a March pattern starting tomorrow. Right now, we are looking across the street. Well, more than across the street. We're looking all the way over toward the Cabela's here in Lexington, which is set to open tomorrow, by the way. 70 degrees tonight in Lexington, humidity at 49%, and it feels, of course, like 70 degrees out there. Just a clear one and a nice one, with a southerly wind kicking in. We're not seeing any wind gusts, but we are seeing our sustained winds come in 15, 20 miles per hour, and that's expected as the storm system gets closer to us tonight, which will increase our winds and shake things up a little bit for us overnight. We probably will hold on to the upper 60s, low 70s past midnight, and that will go down as your high tomorrow, officially. What we see tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening will be more in the shape of low and mid 60s throughout most of the area, probably low 60s for a lot of us tonight. What we have is that storm system on the move, the area of low pressure. Behind it, you're already seeing those temperatures drop. Des Moines, we already have probably some friends headed there or maybe on their way there where they're going into a different atmosphere, at least tonight. We're going to be pretty much where they are the next few days. 52 right there tonight, but you can see that general change in wind direction behind it as well. And that is going to mean all the difference in the world for us. Clear on our Defender radar network tonight, but the showers and thunderstorms have been rolling through to our west as well. Again, all associated with that system. Severe weather leading the way, rolling into Chicago here tonight. That has been an area of concern. And you see those winds that are coming in out of the south-southwest for us as well. again, these are sustained winds, so you're talking about the average wind speed coming in 14 miles per hour in Lexington, and it gets a little bit stronger the farther west you go. Tonight, out to the east, very calm. Hour by hour forecast, warm front lifts through the area. Front drives in here, the cold front at least, drives through tonight. Talking showers by 4 o'clock in the morning. Immediately behind this front, look what happens. We are talking about a big drop in temperatures. You can see that highlighted right there with the green shading. We're at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're looking at 60s in the area. Let's go beyond that, though. Let's get into the early morning. We're waking up mid-50s, pretty common out there for most of us. Daytime highs, well, I should say afternoon readings tomorrow. Low and mid-60s breaking out all over the place. So you can already see the first effect of that frontal boundary. This front continues to work through during the early morning hours and gets out of town deep into the afternoon and evening. It's gone. It's out of here. Behind that, some little spokes of energy will be rotating behind an area of low pressure, which will give us a couple more chances of showers on your Thursday, and then quiet as we go into Friday as well. So that's the only shower chance we have on your Thursday. And again, it's not a significant one. If you are headed off, though, to Des Moines, NCAA tournament time, as you know, the forecast looks a little bit different for you as we go cruising into Des Moines. It will be dry there. They had some rain, showers, and thunderstorms for the key days, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. You're talking about 50s and 40s. Here, as we look at our 7-day forecast, we'll be comparable because we'll have those 40s, but we'll also have a chance of some rain in here for Saturday. And one thing they won't have will be chances of flakes, but we have that. So if you want to stay here with us, the cool people, you can deal with the flakes this weekend, guys.
I think I like that, the cool people, but maybe not the snowflakes. I'm not sure.
Because we're really cool. I mean, not cool as in we're trendy. We're just cool with temperature. Never mind. Get out of here.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I'm buying it, I guess. Jordan Smith, he's cool. His first album debuting later this week, and he wants to celebrate with people in his hometown. That's all in 7 minutes.
All S, all P, all O, R T, S Sports. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall and allsportslex.com, locally owned and operated since 1972.
At Perspectives, we understand your passion for design and expressing it your way. Maximize your creativity and customize the right fit with Hunter Douglas window coverings. From style to color, staying warm or keeping cool, Hunter Douglas custom window fashions not only look beautiful, they define your style. More than simply covering your windows, it's the art of window dressing. Visit us at Perspectives for all your decorating needs. Blinds, paint, and wallpaper.
Kentucky Lottery's Keno, the exciting way to have fun every 5 minutes.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of anesthesiologist Thomas Young on reducing pain after surgery. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Now get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, just $99.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Bike won't start? Scoot on into Batteries Plus bulbs and save $10 on Duracell Ultra AGM motorcycle batteries. Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus.
This new DQ chicken bruschetta is a high-end Italian sports car. No, actually, it's oven-hot focaccia bread, a balsamic glaze. It's a high-end Italian
romance.
No, it's chopped tomatoes and herbs. It's a high-end Italian
Fashion.
It's a high-end Italian sandwich.
I like sandwich.
The new DQ Bakes Chicken Bruschetta, a premium Italian sandwich at a not-so-premium price. Hot out of the oven, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
All S, all P, all O, R T, S Sports. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall and allsportslex.com, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Tonight, a Wayne County deputy jailer faces an assault charge. Investigators say he used excessive force against an inmate.
The deputy, Ricky Kempton, has worked for the jail for more than a decade. Surveillance video shows a female inmate throwing things down. Investigators say the video then shows Kempton shoving the inmate.
Putting his hands on a female in jail for, really from what I saw, didn't deserve to be tackled like she did.
Kempton was arrested based on a complaint that said the inmate suffered minor injuries by being shoved to the floor. After being arrested, Kempton immediately posted bond.
Tonight, we're learning more about a deadly officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. State police say that 34-year-old Joseph Harris shot his former girlfriend, 28-year-old Amanda Harper, as she waited in the drive-thru of a McDonald's in Logan County. Then a short time later, police say Harris ran into some Russellville police officers and pointed a gun at them. Police say the officers fired at Harris, killing him. Police say that 48-year-old Vanna Krang, who was sitting in a donut shop near that scene, was hit by a stray bullet. Both Harper and Krang are in stable condition tonight.
New tonight, a Louisville Planned Parenthood clinic has filed a motion asking a lawsuit the state filed against it to be dismissed. Governor Bevin's administration sued the clinic in January, claiming it was performing abortions without a valid license. But Planned Parenthood claims it had permission from former Governor Steve Beshear's administration. In the motion, the clinic claims Governor Bevin's actions are just a political stunt. The state is also suing a women's clinic in Lexington, claiming it's performed abortions without a license. Tomorrow, the entire Washington, D.C. subway system will be shut down for inspections. Crews will be looking at electrical components on the tracks after a fire Monday led to major delays. Because of the closure, federal workers will be allowed to take unscheduled leave or work from home tomorrow, and the city will ease off on street sweeping violations tomorrow to allow for more street parking. The subway system is expected to resume service Thursday morning.
New tonight, Fayette County School Superintendent Manny Kalk says he wants to hear from the community. At Dunbar High School tonight, he held the first of 2 Talk with Kalk sessions. He's already finished 5 external reviews and multiple listening sessions with teachers and staff in Fayette County Public Schools. But tonight, people in the community had the chance to give him their feedback on the schools.
As a new superintendent, I need to learn what's great about Fayette County, what are our points of pride, what are areas that we need to improve in, what's working.
If you missed tonight, the other listening session will be Thursday night from 6 to 8 at Bryan Station High School.
This Friday will be a big day for The Voice winner Jordan Smith. He'll release his first album called Something Beautiful. Jordan says the album was put together quickly, but it will have something for everyone, and he hopes the music will inspire people. Jordan plans to be at the Harlan Walmart on Friday to meet his fans and sign autographs.
It's great that I'm going to get to be home for the release. I'm so excited about that. When they told me that it was going to work out, I was just beside myself. I couldn't think of a better place to be to release my first album.
Jordan says that new album will have 12 songs. I'm sure they will be lined up for days waiting to get their hands on that first copy.
He's not forgetting his roots, is he? He's
good
deep.
to see.
Yeah. Well, Mr. and Miss Basketball winners, Brian, announced tonight.
Yeah, and the winners come from schools who have never produced such an honor. So UK, they're getting ready, for a big honor themselves. They're going to be back in the big dance. Their confidence is high. Sports is next.
WKYT's High School Game Time is brought to you by Eastern Kentucky University.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
We hid cameras in 2 different cars, the Chevy Equinox with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi and the Ford Escape without.
Chocolate chip, chocolate chip.
Keep your legs down. Tina, put your leg down, please.
Chevrolet is the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Current qualified competitive lessees can get this Chevy Equinox for around $169 a month.
See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $70 million.
McCord family, and welcome to our show. That's our show. Now go enjoy yours.
19 pool tables and a full bar. Only at Silver Q on New Circle Road.
If your child has been bullied, injured, or abused, please call one of our child advocates right now. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Hey guys, it's Deanne Stevens for Sleep Outfitters. Be sure to join us Saturday morning for some exciting President's Day weekend deals. Sleep Outfitters on WKYT.
The AOP's had its eye on her for quite some time. We were just waiting for the right moment to move in. The vibe was anything but playful. Go. Okay. We knew we had to move in fast, but there was a crowd, so we had to play it cool. This is where the years of training paid off. We got the scratch-off ticket to her in the nick of time.
We're agents to play, man.
People think this job is all fun and games, but we take our fun seriously. That's what being an agent of play is all about.
Thank you.
Just doing our job.
Put a little play in your day with scratch-offs from the Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education.
During the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event,
Turnaround jumper.
There's always cause for celebration.
Good. Are you kidding me?
With extraordinary offers on the exhilarating IS, the thrilling GS, and the powerful RC Coupe.
The buzzer.
Because thrills like this only happen during the Command Performance Sales Event. Lease the 2016 IS 300 all-wheel drive for $339 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT.
We're the Swartzes from Omaha. Welcome to our show. See more of our show and start enjoying yours at visitmo.com.
The Cats have a quick turnaround after playing Sunday in the SEC. They go into the NCAA tournament Thursday night. John Calipari believes his team has become empowered late in the season. He's now coaching a confident team with 3 freshmen playing a lot of minutes. It has taken time, but players now understand their roles, and they've developed a lot of confidence.
We have confidence in each other. You know, we're not scared of anybody. We got to play or anything like that, you know, so we feel confident in our ability and what we need to do to get there.
We've been battle tested like this before, where we had to have a quick turnaround, and we've had this multiple times in the season, so I think we'll be ready and fully fine with it.
Everybody just more defined into the roles. Everybody knows what they need to do and how they need to play. Everybody's just playing well at this point, you know, and just really just focusing and competing.
Cats open the NCAA tournament Thursday night. We will have it for you right here on WKYT about 9:40 Thursday night. Kentucky and Stony Brook will tip it off somewhere in the cornfields of Des Moines, Iowa. Also tomorrow night on CW Lexington, you can watch Destination Houston. Wildcats in the NCAA join Rob Bromley, All-American Kyle Macy, and yours truly as we get ready for Kentucky's NCAA tournament run. And also, don't forget about our Hoops Hysteria Bracket Challenge. Your chance to win some pretty cool prizes. 65-inch LED smart TV or up to $1 million. It's simple to play. You just go to WKYT.com. The Kentucky women have a great home court advantage as long as they can stay alive through the regionals. UK will play UNC Asheville in Memorial Coliseum and then possibly on to Rupp Arena if they can get there for the regionals. For senior Janae Thompson, it is more than wonderful to keep playing right here in town.
It is, because after senior night, you know, you can't predict where you'll end up. I wasn't sure if I would have another game in Memorial, so that's really exciting for me. And I just want to go out there and play my hardest.
It's all home games for us as long as we handle business and get the job done. I feel like as we will, and prepare really hard, that we'll be fine.
So the opener for the ladies will be Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock, ESPN2, as the Wildcats take on UNC Asheville. Tonight in the CBI tournament, Morehead State goes on the road and beats Siena 84-80. Lionel Gaines with a double-double. MSU will host the winner of Duquesne and Omaha Monday night. Tomorrow, the NAIA Men's National Tournament begins in Kansas City. The Georgetown Tigers, the #1 overall seed. The G-Men play Wayland Baptist from Texas in the opening round. Now, after winning the national title in 2013, the Tigers were bounced in the quarterfinals in 2014 and out in the first round last year.
Especially our three seniors, I think that's in the back of their mind, and they're using that as motivation. You know, we're not really talking about it as a group, but I think, you know, all of us know that, you know, we were one and done out here last year, and it was tough. You know, it was a rough week or so, a couple weeks after that, getting over that, and you know, I think that's definitely on their mind.
Owen County's Carson Williams, the 2016 Mr. Basketball recipient for the state of Kentucky. The 6'5" Williams is signed with Northern Kentucky, and he had some pretty good numbers this year. 26 points, almost 11 rebounds an outing. He is the first winner ever to come out of Owen County. Another first-time winner from E-Town is Erin Boley. She's Miss Basketball, the Notre Dame signee, leading her Lady Panthers to the state quarterfinals, averaging 24 points, 10.5 rebounds a game. The 6'2" Boley can do it all. The Kentucky Gatorade Player of the Year in both her sophomore and junior seasons, and more than likely will do it again this year. Afternoon baseball, Cliff Hagan Stadium. UK facing Western Kentucky. Second inning belonged entirely to the Hilltoppers, and most of the game did as well. Already up 3-0. Stephen Kraft goes back up the middle, part of a 6-run second for Western. The Cats would get one back in the bottom of the second. The little man, Marcus Carson, out of North Laurel High School, delivers the long fly ball to right center. That is a homer, but it was all WKU this afternoon. Western clobbers Kentucky 14-6, ends a 9-game winning streak. That's sports. We'll be right back.
The weatherman tells us Kentucky has 4 seasons, but real Kentuckians celebrate a 5th, basketball season. Update your wardrobe with the latest fashions from our Nitro and support your favorite team. Be prepared for every season with Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond.
This Corolla's got a sweet sound system and low APR.
Nah, I don't live far.
It's got tons of room.
I do own a broom.
This is pretty fun.
Yeah? I've been thinking of growing a man bun.
It's Toyota's One for Everyone sales event with 0 for 60 financing plus $500 bonus cash on Corolla, or $1,000 customer cash, or a $159 a month lease.
Thanks, Jan.
No, it's Jan.
Toyota, let's go places.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident, don't give a written or recorded statement until you speak to us. Visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Shouldn't you have a checking account that makes your life easier? Introducing Easy Checking from Republic Bank. Relax with no minimum balance or monthly maintenance fee. Use our free mobile app to easily send money with Mobile Pop Money. You can even log into our app with a scan of your fingerprint or eye using iPrint ID. Easy checking for your hard-earned money. We're Republic Bank, and it's just easier here.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, best-in-class V8 horsepower, and best-in-class V8 towing?
Chevy.
I'm going with Ram.
Definitely Ford.
The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, horsepower, and towing.
They're all Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Get a total value of $7,500 on this Silverado All-Star with a 5.3-liter V8. Plus, find your tag and get $1,000 cash allowance on select Silverado models in stock. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
While it's difficult to think about the death of a loved one, the caring people at the Lexington Cemetery make it easier. After all these years, they still offer many spaces for traditional ground burial as well as mausoleum burial. And the Lexington Cemetery has operated its own on-site crematory since 1977. Lexington Cemetery offers many memorialization options, like the scattering garden and niches and the memorial arbor for remembering those whose remains are elsewhere. Choose the beauty and dignity of the Lexington Cemetery and Crematory.
The weatherman tells us Kentucky has 4 seasons, but real Kentuckians celebrate a 5th. Basketball season. Update your wardrobe with the latest fashions from our Nitro and support your favorite team. Be prepared for every season with Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook.
Mr. Snowman's here.
Indeed. That's all I can seem to think about. You know, we had a nice day today, close to 80 degrees, but we've got it in our emoji cast here for you. Tomorrow, we start out with a stray shower chance. I think better chances at 7 o'clock will be for eastern Kentucky, but you still got to kind of have that face when you get out there. But we will see some sunshine by the time we get to the afternoon and evening. And a quick check of that weekend forecast, because as I said, we always think about it. It's going to make you smile or cry a lot with those flakes coming, guys.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow.